Okay, so we got the smoke machine out today, and this is a 2001 Volvo V70, and we're going to hook it into the intake system and see if we have any vacuum leaks. So what you do is calls for mineral oil, but baby oil works just as well. A lot of people use baby oil in these machines. This runs on 12 volts, so positive and negative. Now in a Volvo, the battery's in the trunk, but we can get to positive right here and negative, so we can use the 12 volts. Now this kit came from Vivor, and it's got a bunch of different adapters. It's all kinds of stuff here. We're not going to look at it all right now, but there's different plugs so you can plug off different hoses to do different functions, isolate different parts of the system. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hose off right here off the intake manifold and put the smoke into there. But before I do that, I'm going to disconnect the hose that comes from the air filter, and I'm going to block that off with a glove. I'm having trouble separating that pipe from this housing. So as a start, what I'm going to do is just take out the mass airflow sensor. All right. Set that aside. Now, stiff hose. It's kind of cold out, so I don't know how easily that's going to let go. But yeah, oh, there it is. I got it. Just kind of twisted it like that, and it came out. Let's see. Okay, with that around there, that should isolate everything from the air box. And then if I put smoke in right at the intake manifold, in essence, that should be a closed system. So the smoke will go all through it. And if there's a leak, that would normally be in normal operation, it would be a vacuum leak. It would be sucking air into the system unmetered and cause a lean condition. And so if that was the case, we would find smoke coming out where the leak is. Okay, so here's the hose from the smoke machine. I've just cut it back there a little bit, and I'm going to take this fitting out of it. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this hose, I'm going to put it over this little fitting here coming out of the intake manifold. Okay, so it'll introduce smoke into there. And then I had a little rubber plug here that came in the kit, and I'm going to plug that hose off. That's getting close. Okay, that's good on that. And we can hang that back up. Now, as I said earlier, power on the Volvo, there's a lug here for positive. We can get to that and then take it to ground. So, and then one thing that happens with this machine is the minute you plug it onto power, it starts up. So it'll start running. There's a little air pump in there. And if you have this switch one way, it'll just push out air. If you push this way, it'll make smoke. Okay, so let's push it on to smoke. And then once we get this hooked to power, it should start up. So let's go positive here. Negative here. There we go. Power indicator's on. And we'll get it set for smoke. So now it's just a waiting game. Wait for that to start generating smoke. And see if we have a leak anywhere. Be nice to be able to see if there's smoke coming out of the machine first. Let's just take a look on the machine itself and see if it's going to start to produce smoke. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. Okay, so the smoke is going into the intake manifold. Oh, I see a leak already. Oh, look at that. Wow, is that ever leaking down there? Wow, we got a bad leak down in there. Let me get a light. Look at that. Wow. That's not good. That is a bad leak there. Holy cow. We've got a big leak right there. Right at the throttle body. Or the ETM, electronic throttle module. Wow. Okay, that means that's got to come off. Okay, so it's the next day. I'm going to try and dig down in here, take this pipe out so I can reach my hands down in there and see if I can tighten that clamp. There's a plastic pipe with a hose clamp on it, and I'm going to see if I can tighten that first before I tear it right out of there. But for anyone that's worked on these cars, they know that the intake manifold, the TBI or the throttle body, or the, what do you want to call it, the throttle, what do they call that stupid thing? Anyway, the air inlet, the butterflies on the bottom of the intake manifold. I don't know if you can see that in the mirror there, but I'm looking at the hose clamp, and it looks like I'm looking at the back end of it. So the head of the hose clamp's on the other side. So I had that off last year when I cleaned the throttle body, and I had the whole thing out as an assembly. I guess I didn't think about that when I put the hose clamp on there. I didn't have the hose clamp facing this way, like the head of the hose clamp, so I can't even get on that to tighten it. Okay, so because the head of that hose clamp is on this side over here, facing this way, I might be able to reach in here with a stubby screwdriver and get on it if I can. I'm going to take these sensors out of here and see if I can reach my hand in there without having to take the drastic step of taking the intake manifold off. Okay, so I got a 1/4-inch drive ratchet with a 7mm socket on it, and I can reach it back in there. So I'm going to see if I can tighten that hose clamp. It's a tight squeeze. Let's see here. It's all by feel. I can't see it. Okay, so I was able to get about a half a turn on that hose clamp on the screw. So let's do another smoke test and see what we end up with. It was leaking here before. Oh, I do see a little bit. I don't know how much tighter I can get that. I put it quite tight. No, we still got a problem there. See that? I wonder if I can get a mirror down there and see exactly where that's coming. It seems to be diminished from yesterday, but it's leaking right around. Yeah, it's leaking right around the hose clamp. I can see it here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. I can see it around the edge of the... Yeah, right at the edge of the hose clamp. Yeah. Okay, so against my better judgment, I'm going to see if I can do it without taking the intake manifold out. I'm going to just take out the air box, take out this, and try and reach it from underneath. And I might even take out the fan. But to disturb the intake manifold is to disturb what we know is a good gasket surface there. It's all sealed along the head. And there's coolant in there. And if we do it this way, we don't have to disconnect any coolant lines and drain it down or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna try it just to do it from underneath, see if we can pull that pipe out without breaking the clamp. Like, I was just about to strip the clamp, you know. So okay, let's tear this apart. Air filter box comes out just like that. Just sits in a couple of like that. Hose there. Okay, makes more room right away. This air intake. I'm going to reach back in there and see if I can loosen that clamp when I tightened. Okay, so easily 10 minutes in there trying to turn that. I think I loosened it a bit. Let's see if I can drop the pipe at all. I've got this end of it disconnected here. I undid that hose clamp there and I pulled it off. So it's just a matter of see if I can navigate that out of there. Got it. That's it. There it is. Okay, so here's the problem right here. Okay, so here we are. We've got it out. Now, you can see the inside of it. See the grooves on that throttle body should kind of cut into the plastic and seal it, but I don't know if it's worn out or maybe there's even a crack in this pipe here somewhere. So I'll have to take a better look at it. I don't know. Yeah, oh, there is a crack in it. Look at that. I can see it right there. There's a problem. There's our problem right there. Look at that. See that? That's where it's leaking. Didn't matter how tight this was. It's broken right there. All right, we found the problem. Now, can we fix this without having to change the whole pipe? Is there any way to fix that?